My 16th birthday was supposed to be special. That's what people say, right? Sweet 16. A milestone. A memory. Something you remember forever. And I did. Just not the way I hoped. Our living room was decorated with cheap balloons. Half of them were already losing air. A small cake sat on the table. No candles shaped like 16. Just 2 plain ones. My relatives were there. My grandparents. A few cousins. My parents' friends. Everyone pretending. Smiling. Laughing. Acting like we were a happy family. But I knew better. I always did. Dad stood near the TV. Phone in hand. Scrolling. Not looking at me. Not even once. Mom was busy serving snacks. Avoiding my eyes. Like she didn't want to see the disappointment. Finally, Dad cleared his throat. "All right," he said. "Let's get this over with. Get this over with." Like my birthday was a chore. He reached into his pocket. Pulled out a crumpled bill. $10. Folded twice. Old. Wrinkled. He tossed it on the table. It slid next to the cake. "Here," he said. "Don't waste it." People laughed awkwardly. Someone clapped. I froze. $10. In front of everyone. In front of relatives who gave their kids phones, bikes, trips. My cousin had gotten a laptop last year. I got $10. My face burned. But I smiled. Because I had learned early. Crying never changed anything. "Thank you, Dad," I said softly. He nodded. Like he'd done something generous. Then it was my turn. My heart started racing. Because I had something too. Something no one knew about. For 2 years. I had been saving. From tutoring. From delivering newspapers. From fixing neighbors' phones. From helping in shops after school. Every small job. Every coin. Every late night. I never told them. Because they'd take it. They always did. I reached into my bag. Pulled out a plain white envelope. No ribbon. No decoration. Just paper. I walked to Dad. Handed it to him. "For you," I said. He raised an eyebrow. "For me," he laughed. "What is it, another thank you card?" Some relatives chuckled. He opened it carelessly. One hand. Not even looking. Then. He stopped. His smile faded. His fingers froze. He pulled out what was inside. A document. Folded neatly. And a small stack of receipts. And a card. His breathing changed. Slow. Shallow. He read the first page. Once. Twice. 3 times. His face went pale. Not light. Not surprised. Pale. Like all the blood had disappeared. Mom noticed. "What is it?" she asked. He didn't answer. He just stared. Then he looked up. Not at me. At the window. Outside. Like he needed air. Like he needed escape. Like he had seen a ghost. The room went quiet. No more laughter. No more music. No more pretending. "What did you give him?" my aunt whispered. I stayed silent. My hands were shaking. Not from fear. From relief. Because after 16 years, I was finally done being invisible. Dad stood up suddenly. Walked to the window. Put his hand on the glass. And whispered. "No, this can't be." Mom rushed over. "Let me see," she demanded. She read the paper. Her knees weakened. She grabbed the table. "Where did you get this?" she asked me. Her voice wasn't angry. It was scared. I looked at both of them. Calm. Tired. Honest. "I found the truth," I replied. "And I kept it safe." Everyone stared. No one understood. But they would. Soon. Because inside that envelope was proof. Proof of something they had hidden from me my whole life. Something that could change everything. And my 16th birthday was just the beginning. Dad's hands started shaking. He folded the paper again. Then unfolded it. Like somehow the words might change. They didn't. Mom pulled him away from the window. "Tell me," she whispered urgently. "What is it?" He couldn't speak. So I did. That paper, I said quietly, shows where my college fund went. Gasps filled the room. My grandmother sat down slowly. What college fund? She asked. Exactly. When I was born, my grandfather had opened a savings account for me. For education. For my future. Every month, he deposited money. Small at first. Then more. Over 16 years. It became a fortune. Enough for any university. Enough for freedom. Enough for a new life. But I never saw it. Never used it. Never even knew about it. Because Dad had taken it. Bit by bit. Year after year. To cover his gambling debts. To fund failed business ideas. To impress friends. To pretend he was successful. I found out by accident. At the bank. I was opening my first account. The teller looked confused. You already have one, she said. With my name. My ID. My signature, fake. She showed me the history. Withdrawals. Transfers. Closures. All signed by my father. I printed everything. Every page. Every receipt. Every timestamp. Then I waited. For the right moment. For this moment. Mom's voice cracked. You promised me you'd never touch it, she said. Dad finally spoke. I was going to pay it back, he muttered. When? I asked. Silence. Relatives started whispering. This is stealing. From his own child. How could he? My uncle stood up. Return it, he demanded. With interest. Dad looked at me. For the first time. Not as a burden. Not as a quiet kid. But as a threat. You're embarrassing me, he hissed. I smiled sadly. No, I replied. You embarrassed yourself. Then I pulled out my phone. Opened another file. There's more, I said. A loan contract. Signed in my name. Without my knowledge. Hundreds of thousands. Used as collateral. If unpaid. I would be bankrupt at 18. My mother screamed. You used our child's identity. Dad broke down. I had no choice, he cried. I was drowning. And you pushed me under instead, I replied. The party was over. Cake untouched. Balloons sagging. Guests leaving in silence. My childhood ended that night. And something else began. Power. Truth. And consequences. Because I wasn't done yet. Not even close. The next morning, I went to the bank. Not with anger. Not with tears. With documents. With evidence. With courage. The manager listened carefully. Checked every record. Every signature. Every transfer. Then he looked at me and said quietly, this is identity fraud. My stomach tightened. But I felt lighter. For the first time in years. I wasn't protecting him anymore. I was protecting myself. An investigation started. Accounts were frozen. Assets reviewed. Loans suspended. My name was cleared. Dad was called in. Questioned. Warned. Then charged. Not because I hated him. Because truth matters. Mom apologized. Over and over. I should have protected you, she cried. Yes, I replied. You should have. But I forgave her. Not immediately. Not easily. But honestly. Dad moved out. The house became quieter. Safer. Healthier. I got my fund back. With interest. With compensation. Enough for college. Enough for dreams. Enough for choices. On my 17th birthday. I didn't ask for gifts. I bought myself a laptop. With my own money. My own future. My own strength. Dad tried to call. I didn't answer. Some lessons are expensive. And some debts aren't paid with money. They're paid with regret. Today, when I look back, I'm proud. Not because I exposed him. But because I refused to be silent. I chose myself. And that changed everything. White right pointing backhand index. If this story inspired you, share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and support our channel for more powerful stories.